Zhao the cat just raided with 28 views.
Thank you for the raid. We're just kind of getting settled in here. Let me turn this down. Alright, well, hello and welcome. My name is Satorikami. I am a variety VTuber. We're going to do a little bit of Warframe this morning. So this will be a little bit shorter of a stream. I'm just going to kind of discuss a few things and kind of go over future content. And pardon me if I need to drink a little bit more than I usually do, because we are getting sick currently. So it is what it is. I appreciate that. Thank you. Alright, this might be a little bit scuffed because we are broadcasting from a hotel room, so I am on my laptop trying to get this whole thing set up here, so let me turn this down a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew I was gonna get sick because I knew Saturday I was around somebody that was sick. It was a different illness than what I had last time, but I knew it was gonna be like maybe 3 to 5 days, and I'd be getting sick too. So it's kind of how it is. All right, let's jump into the game here. If it seems like I'm bobbing around, it's because I'm not on my normal rig here. So instead of so my normal rig has quad monitors, and they're arranged in a square. Like right now I have 4 monitors spread left to right across my desk. So I might have to bob around here a little bit. Good morning, Foofy. Good morning. Okay, so I think what I kind of wanted to get into today, besides doing my dailies, so I do want to do some of my rep grind today, but I mainly wanted to talk about kind of what I want to do with future content. So what I want to do, because I've been thinking about it for a little while. Let me get this set up here real quick. So let's go to... First we got to lock this down so we don't get sucked into a group. And then we want to go to Plains of Eidolon. Okay, so... Audio robotic. Yeah, I'm using NVIDIA Broadcast and it's a little bit glitchy. But hopefully it'll be okay. but hopefully it's better now. Let me see if I can monitor it for a second. Hopefully that's a little bit better. I think it's just positioning of my mic. That's probably a little bit better. I need to get a new mic arm. Alright, let's tweak a few other things here. So let's see. Sorry for the scuff. There's something else that's been bugging me with this setup for a minute, so I'm gonna try to, let's see. I gotta resize this window. It's better. Okay. Alright, hopefully that's better. So, I've been having a lot of people getting into Warframe, and I've had a lot of people in chat ask questions about Warframe. And what I think I might do is create not really like a how-to series, but like kind of like a general overview of Warframe. Like if you're getting into Warframe for the first time, kind of like a explanation of how stuff in the game works, what you need to do to unlock certain things, how the mod system works, and things like that. I've seen other videos that go over it in like maybe like a 20-minute overview. I want to kind of do more of an expanded explanation of Warframe. We're going hunting. I see something on there. What is it? Can we get him from here? Stay still. Got him.
Full grown. Male. Note the pale coat, indicative of a subspecies that spends most of its
So
time
what we're doing is we are capped on our rep that we can get per day. We can only get 30,000. And I need a bunch. Okay, what the hell was shooting at us? Okay. I'm getting distracted here. So I don't usually do like just chatting streams. So I didn't really want to set this one up as a just chatting stream, but it is going to be a shorter stream. So if you're curious what I'm doing right now, this is called conservation. And it is a very good way to get rep. So what you basically do is you have a tranquilizer rifle and you are tagging creatures. Some of them are more rare than others. So then it goes to sleep. Machine comes down and snags it. This is the
I once knew a hunter who
amount of rep that you're getting for it, basically.
using two of these animals as shoes.
And rep is also used as a currency to buy some things from the vendors. So it's not just get rep and that's it. Some of the stuff you buy with reputation from some of these vendors, so it is handy to have. Now all the open world zones do have a day and night cycle, or they'll call it different things. Like on Fortuna, it's like a hot and cold cycle, basically. In Deimos, I have no idea what that. I think it's like Foss and Boss or something like that, and I have no idea what the difference is. I think one's like their night.
Another Kuaka. You are aware the female of this species becomes fertile.
I think some of the most
giving birth. Yes.
obtuse systems are kind of the mod system, and I think a lot of people just jump into the star map and they just do the star map. But there is a lot of stuff in the game that is unlocked by the quests that are in the game. Let's see here. I mean, I guess I could do a general overview. I'm not gonna do like a huge expanded overview of it right now, but let me get out of here. I'll go back to the ship. Because eventually I'll have like an explanation like where I go to see what builds are good. And you can kind of see there we just got like 1600 XP for Ostrin. But I think a lot of people are coming over from Destiny 2. But Destiny 2 just did have some new content come out. And I think we're picking up probably some more players from First Descendant as well. So kind of to show you what you would use rep for, if I go here to turn the game down just a touch. So we go to fast travel. We're gonna go to
When the business first sent
this
me
guy.
small stuffed animals, I took it as evidence of a mind in decay.
So the tags that I have, you can trade them for these pets.
Now that he has a
Well, these aren't really
great
pets, they're floofs, so they're like a
never aspire.
stuffed animal you could put on your ship. But the conservation vendors usually have mods for creatures. So that's like usually what their advantage is. Like all these ones that say claws, those would all work in Venari for like Korra or like any of the creatures that you could have. Which I don't know if I have enough tags for these yet. What is this? Melee damage per... I already got Call of the Week. The companion will avoid attacking. 50% evasion. There's stuff on here that gives you like... It'll convert everything to slash damage, or it'll convert everything to... like 100 health stolen each hit per stack of slash. So, I mean, those would have pretty good synergies with each other.
Be well.
What is that? Oh, it's just a bird you can put on your ship. So the Kubrow's are like the dog that you can get. So like right now I have a robot, like that little guy above my head, that's just a robot. You get one unless you use Korra. Korra gets two. Because you have one as an exalted. Let's see. Who I'm trying to think of who I can show you that has a shop that is based on rep. So let's see. I think we'll go to Kanzu. We'll see what he's got.
Heavy hitter like you needs a little snack, yeah?
So like I'm level 3 with Ostrin, and you kind of see there's like 5 levels. Every level that you go up, it goes up in how much you need to level it, obviously. This daily standing number, which you can kind of see it down here, the maximum that number can be is determined by your mastery rank. So probably the most important thing in the game is this mastery rank. So like I'm MR20. And the way that works is there's like a mastery rank challenge that you have to do to get each mastery rank, and then every item that you level up to maximum will give you mastery. So there is a theoretical maximum of the mastery points that you can get in game. A lot of them you will get from just doing the star chart initially. But then eventually you have to start crafting a lot of weapons. A lot of weapons. So, but my more comprehensive series, like, I'm not going to consider this part of it, but I want to go over, like, what are the activities in the game that you can do? Because there's a lot. There's fishing, there's, like, conservation that I just did. Every area has, like, a boss that you can do. So there's, like, profit taker, there's eidolon hunts, there's all that kind of stuff. So you can also join a syndicate. So right now I'm part of Arbiters of Hexus. And I just leveled them up, so I got to do like 132,000, but I can only do a maximum of this 25,000 a day right now. Right now the Belly of the Beast event is going on too, which is definitely something worth doing. But anytime if you want to progress, the things that I recommend is anytime you hit, so I'm on controller, so it's a start, or I think on keyboard it is escape. This quest. So I mean, there's not really any spoilers in here. I'm in streamer mode, so I don't think it's gonna show any spoilers really. It will just kind of show you the quests that are in here. So there is certain things, like your Arcwing is tied to one of these story quests. It's probably this one called the Arcwing. So when you do that Arcwing quest, you get your Arcwing. And some of these will become unlocked with the star chart. Some of them are sequential. Like you have to do one quest to do the next quest. Obviously, I've completed everything. A lot of this, the newest content that's in the game right now is the Hex. That's the 1999 content. So the way the 1999 content works is it has like a whole relationship system built into it. No, I want them to remember. So when you're in the 1999 content, you get these little dialogue options. Like, I'll just go in here. You'll end up talking to all these people. There's basically like a plus-minus system to your reputation with each person. I don't know what they're saying, but I'm just gonna pass. Because each of these is tied to a person. Like Arthur, I'm not really going to elaborate too much on who's who or what they do. That's kind of more, has like their background. Like right now, this Salem is Eleanor. That's the one I will say, because that's the one that we're trying to pursue, I guess you could say. And then that area, we'll go to the mall. I can show you around a little bit. So in any loading screen, they are interactive, like you can bob around. It does the same thing with like your ship. You can bob it around on the screen as like a loading screen activity. Doesn't really do anything, but sometimes it's fun.
Field strip done. Heading out. You need some threads. I dress for who I
So most factions are going to be locked in two ways. One is going to be stuff is going to require reputation. So everyone is named differently. Like this one's named like Pizza Party, Hot and Fresh. So like if you want to unlock the weapons for free, the best thing to do is grind out the rep, and you can get most of the stuff by grinding out the rep. And you can kind of see in here, it says like the cost of that is 10,000 reputation points. That's how you would get that, is you would unlock the reputation, then you bank up 10,000 reputation points, and then you just straight up buy it with reputation.
Go and get yourself a payday loan then. Yeah, little more.
So that's Quincy. Who else is there?
Interesting.
This is Eleanor.
Idle hands done.
So I some of these I can't buy from them yet because I don't have enough points for it. I'm kind of starting to accumulate what I need to get the rep to the next level, so I haven't really spent anything more. Like anytime you see that +1 arcane revive, it gives you another res. So like you can only die so many times in a mission. If you equip an arcane with arcane revive, you get an additional one. And these arcanes can stack on top of each other, so you can power them up. Like rank 1 does a certain thing, rank 5, and you kind of see that it does something different.
We'll all be here when you come back. Arrivederci.
But eventually you can date any single person that from in the team. It just kind of is a matter of personal preference. So the way the 1999 content works, and Duviri Paradox works kind of in a similar way. Let's see, how can I explain this? I need to get to their computer, so we're gonna go to the back room. So the back room is kind of like another version of the ship. It's got everything that the ship has on it. So in 1999, there's this calendar. So every 5 days it resets. Or not every 5 days. It has like a certain amount of time that goes by. And then it resets every week. However much time. I'm not sure what the exact time is. I haven't really participated in it a ton. I think it might have just reset. I think it did just reset. So I think it's around 5. It's like 5 to 7 days, something like that. So it'll give you tasks. So it'll say like kill 150 enemies with melee weapons. And then when you do that, it will progress to the next icon. So like once I do that, I'll be able to select a reward. So I could select Forma, or I could select Kuva. And then once you complete that, it goes to the next thing, and then so on. So these overrides, those are like modifiers for that rotation. So whatever perk you take, it'll keep it until the next reset. So and it's completely randomized. Sometimes you'll get really lucky and you'll get everything that you want. Because like this one, it says like increase ability strength. Well, you can stack that with another one. Or depending on like what your preference is, like when you go to the next phase. Because once you progress through this, you'll be able to go to the next season. Oh, it's got phosphor. That's interesting. But every single one of these like rewards or these perks, it'll give you like a random chance. I don't usually worry about Forma or primary arcanes because you can buy that stuff with platinum, but if you wanted to get that stuff for free, you can get it from the rewards that are built into this. What have we got in here? So like we could take the 2 for emergency medicine and boost the restoration effects by orb pickups by like 50%, and they would stack on each other. Or we could take the 2 for ability strength, it would give us like a 50% ability strength boost. That's my crew bro. Let's go back to the ship. I'll show you some other stuff too. This is kind of just like a general overview. It's a very rough. I'll have something more like formal when I do it. So we want to leave the back room. We want to go to our base of operations. Okay. So this incubator is how you would grow like a kubrau. You could actually get like, and they have like different variations that they can get. It's kind of random. It's not exactly random. And each one has like different kind of abilities. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about here. So you'll have like your loadouts. You got your primary, secondary, melee weapons, but then you also have a companion. So I'm using Helios mainly because I have them like almost maxed out on everything. This Deconstructor Prime counts as a melee weapon. So like it hits 3 times for like almost 5,000 or 6,000 damage, and it gets like boosted to the moon. So it will kill almost everything for me, which is kind of handy. But if I didn't want to use that, you have all these different other companions that you can get. And you'll see people have like pets that'll be named all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's see, does it show me their abilities? So this is a Sahasha Kubrau. There's different Kubraus. I don't know which ones there are. I'll have to look that up when I go do my more comprehensive thing. Whatever ones I have, it will tell me. Let's see, we got Resmi. This is a Smita Kavat. This is probably the more desirable one because of some of their innate abilities. Charm is probably one of the more desired abilities for farming. Not a whole lot. We're just kind of to try to get a little bit of content out during the week. It's kind of a random time of day for me. I wasn't sure if I was going to stream today or not because I was like starting to lose my voice. Let me grab something to drink real quick. All right, I'm back. So we're drinking. So I wanted to try like a healthier soda because I wanted a soda and I was like, I don't know. I didn't really want something diet. So I'm trying this soda called Zevia. It's like sweetened with stevia. Has no artificial colors or anything. So it's weird because it's clear and it's carbonated in a can. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's okay. But yeah, so what they changed with this is it used to be that this clause was not its own thing. Now it is. So normally you would only get, some Warframes will have like an exalted thing. So like for Dante, it's a exalted weapon. The unique thing, like the frame that I usually run, and the reason I run it, is I usually will run Korra. Because Korra has Venari. Venari is its own pet. Obviously this is the Prime version, so it kind of looks a little crazy. But it's pretty tricked out. Does it show me? I don't think it has an innate ability, though. You can change the appearance of it, though. Let me see. That's just the skin. We're gonna leave it prime. Because the way that Korra works, and what I like about Korra is if you go to your abilities, it's this one. So Venari has a couple different modes it can be in, either attack, protect, or heal. I usually will set Venari to heal, and that's how I'll basically do all my healing. And I think it will also heal other people in the party as well. So that gives me like 72 health a second, which it's not, I would not say it's good for Steel Path. Like, I think that's a whole different story. Because it's not enough healing to keep you alive. But it also gives me a speed boost. So as long as Venari is alive, I get a 15% speed boost. So it just makes me faster overall. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for Lavos Prime. I think that's going to be really cool. I haven't even, Lavos is not one I really play that much. I think I leveled him one time. But I think it's coming in like a couple days. It's going to be the Lavos Prime set. That's the Prime. So Prime Access, a lot of people will get this impression that you have to buy the Prime Access to get the Primes. That's really not how Warframe works. There's really nothing that is restricted by a paywall. Like, you can get everything in the game by grinding it out if you really want to. So, like, at some point, I don't know if it'll be, like, right away, but at some point, Lavos Prime will be on a relic. And you'll be able to do it that way. So, what is Lavos' abilities? I'll kind of show you guys, like, how to get stuff in the game for free. So he's got a serpent that heals him. He's got a dash. Launch a probe that converts health and energy orbs into universal orbs that provide both, and ammo pickups into universal ammo pickups. The probe shocks enemies in close proximity. Each electrocuted foe reduces the other ability cooldowns by 1.5 seconds. I mean, that's kind of cool, but I don't think it's super useful. Catalyst probes erupt from Lavos and doused combatants in a fiery gel. Damage is doubled for each element afflicting an enemy. Oh, it's got a cooldown? I don't usually see abilities with cooldowns on them. That's kind of weird. Oh, we got Lavos with a weird back piece on. Let me switch to a frame that is not as. Let's switch to Cyto 9. Move on and look at the operator. So the whole premise of this game is you're controlling these suits, but they're not like Iron Man suits. It's not like you're wearing the suit. It's all through, like, imagine it like, how do I explain it without spoiling anything? It's basically, they call it transference. It's like a remote connection. This is like where the operator hangs out at. But but you can also get into the operator and run around as the operator. Like if I'm out here and I do... I can't use any weapons right now. But this focus is also something that you grind out in the game. It's like a huge thing, which I have not done that much of. Have I gotten enough to unlock the next level of what I needed? Let's see. Hardened Wellspring. What about these other ones? Disarming Sling. Temporal Drag. Second ability emits a radial burst, slowing an enemy it touches by 50%. Oh, that you need 750,000 plus a brilliant Eidolon shard, which I don't have. So these waybound ones, the way that works is once you get the stuff for it, is it pulls it off of that school and it puts it on the sidebar. So these are, they become a passive at that point for that school. Like the, because like right now you have an active and a passive school. Like these are all, like this is my active school. If I wanted to unlock one of these other ones, I could unlock those, or I could activate the other one, and it would give me these abilities. But any of these that you pull from Waybound over to here, and there's only certain ones that can be Waybound. Like this school has external gaze and internal gaze, which gives you increased energy, or it gives you increased energy regeneration rate. That's actually really good. What is that, 68,000? I have not started grinding that out yet. This system would take years to max out. Well, not really years. I don't play like that consistently. If I played a lot more, I'd probably have a lot more of this stuff unlocked. I would say I'm a dirty casual at this game. Like I'll play a few hours a week, but not, I think I have 500 hours total. And that's over the course of probably almost 4 years. Total playtime. So it's not a ton. I mean, there are some of these other schools that have some interesting stuff in here, but what can be pulled out of these? So you can like revive your Warframe. The number one they recommend is like Zenric and Matarai. Those are usually like the two ones that are really heavily pushed. See, these other ones just don't have anything that is like super great. I mean, increased health and armor would be good. Operator health regeneration is increased by 1.5 per second and is doubled while controlling the Warframe. I think that might just increase my HP. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm definitely not an expert. Operator movement speed would be kind of useful. Increase void sling distance, that'd be kind of useful. So the way you get focus, let me show you this. So if I go to my arsenal, when you're leveling up a weapon and you max out its affinity, So once that weapon is maxed out on its affinity, you have like this excess, right? So when you're gaining EXP for that weapon, where does it go? What happens with it? Well, what you do is in here. So on controller, you push down on the right stick. I don't know what it is on keyboard exactly. So this menu. Auto install will get you about 90% there on most of your mod installs. You don't necessarily have to worry about that. Polarization, I'm still waiting for the update that's coming, and I don't know if it's coming in March, but they are going to go to like a universal forma type polarization. So that would be a huge benefit, but it's this focus lens. So you can buy these with platinum, or you might just have them. And it will convert a percentage of your excess affinity into a focus school. And you can put it on all kinds of different, you can put it on every single one of your weapons. So like if you're carrying maxed out everything, you can put a lens on every weapon and it'll give you a percentage. And then depending on the school you're trying to level, you could do it that way. Which obviously I'm focusing most of my stuff into Matter Eye currently. So the stuff you unlock with Steel Path is, I don't think you can get weapon arcanes until after you unlock Steel Path. These things will boost your damage like a crazy amount. I'm trying to see if I have any of the good ones. So this primary merciless is probably the most seeked one, or primary deadhead depending on the weapon, because if you either go for a headshot kill and it gives you increased damage, or you would go for a kill in general and you would get increased damage. So you can kind of see how this works. On a kill, it gives you plus 30% damage for 4 seconds, and it stacks up to 12 times. So that's 30% times 12. So that's a huge boost to damage, which that makes a huge difference. So that's kind of how you do Steel Path, is you really need to get the arcanes unlocked for those, which Steel Path is like a whole nother story. So what Steel Path is essentially New Game Plus, but not really. So you have the star map. Some of these don't exist until you go through the story more. Like on typically, I don't think it's really going to spoil anything if I just tell you the name of it. But on when you start a playthrough, the Zariman will not be there. Not going to tell you what it's about or what it does or its background, but it's just a point that you have to complete in order to get the star map complete. But once you have everything, every single mission type in every single area done, I think there's some on Lua that don't unlock until later on, until you complete more of the quest missions. Then you'll get this thing over here. So you can kind of see I have Origin System Normal and I have Steel Path. So Steel Path gives you extra rewards. It also boosts the enemy levels by 100, and it boosts the enemy health. Well, you can kind of see it boosts enemy health by 250% and enemy shields by 250%. But you also get additional resource drop chance, and you also get additional mod drop chance. And there is a resource that is exclusive to Steel Path, and that is Steel Essence is exclusive to Steel Path. So besides like Barrow to Kier, which is a vendor that is up every so often, and there is also this Star Days event that's going on right now. I do recommend trying that out. let's see, how can I get there easily? It's pretty much any relay. So let's go to Strata relay. There is some cool stuff you can do if you're MR30. I am not MR30. It will probably take me a long time to get to MR30. Because I need to level a lot more stuff. So I'll kind of show you around. And you can fast travel through here, but I'm not gonna fast travel because it's just there's not really a point in doing that. I'll show you around. Okay, where are we? It's this concourse. So if you're MR30, you can go to this terminal and you can grant everybody in the relay a blessing for 3 hours. Or if you're level 30 or MR30, you can just grant it to yourself. But it can be like a credit boost, it can be affinity boost, it can be a resource boost, it can be all that stuff. And it stacks on top of whatever boosts you have already. So like if you get a credit boost and you go do a mission and you already have a credit boost, it'll basically double your boost. Okay, so who can we talk to? Let's go talk to my faction that I'm doing right now, which is these guys. What is that guy? Turn of medallions, what's that? Medallions of the Arbiters of Hexus. How would you even get that?
You have come to collect honors earned through arbitration.
You can see we just got like a affinity blessing. Okay, so that Vitus Essence is from arbitration missions. Arbitration missions unlock when you unlock Steel Path. So like a lot of these mods are locked behind Steel Path. Or you can trade other players for them. And then every faction has
You set the example.
basically a store.
To help your journey.
So everything in here is bought with rep. So like if I wanted to buy this mod, it costs 25,000 rep. And depending on what Warframe you run, you might like see this as Gauss, Excalibur, Equinox. There's certain factions that give you like certain things that other ones don't. So I did it kind of as based on my personal preference because I just liked how the Arbiters of Hexus looked. There's not really a rhyme or reason to it. But we're gonna fast travel to Tension. Actually, does Darvo have anything good today?
Tenno, you up for a little job on the side? I think I have something you might be interested in.
What is it? It's a Victus? It's a Victus sniper rifle. Do I have that already? I don't think I have that yet. It's got a 30% discount on it. It'd probably be cheaper to just go find it in game. Let's see. Tension is the one that we want. Go talk to him. So this is on a rotation too, so the stuff that he has changes. But what you'll eventually get when you get Steel Path is you get this Steel Path Honors. So this shop refreshes. I don't know how often. I want to say it's probably when this stuff refreshes. The stuff that's in here right now is not very good. Sometimes he'll have Umbra Forma, or he'll have like weapons or other stuff that's like way better than what's in here right now. But you can kind of see what it wants me to have a certain number of Steel Path Essence. You get that from doing Steel Path missions. But it took me literally, I just unlocked Steel Path probably about a month ago. It took me a long time. Because some of the content is like dead. So there's like certain versus missions that nobody does. But they are improving very soon where those won't be required for Steel Path. So that will be awesome. And then of course there's like one of my favorite things is Railjack. Which I still have to do that too. But there's all kinds of stuff on this ship. I think the stuff that you have to unlock eventually is... And there's some stuff I don't even have unlocked yet, so... There's Helmet. So Helmet can subsume abilities off of Warframes. So you can take an ability off of one Warframe and put it on another Warframe, but you can't do it with every single ability. You can only do it with certain abilities. So you hit subsume, it tells you what can be subsumed off a Warframe. I don't like that ability getting subsumed, but I think it kind of tells you what different ones can be taken off of what Warframes. Some of these are really good, some of them not so much. But this Archon Shards is basically like a power-up system. So you can apply like 5 of them to a Warframe, and it will give you perks. But there's another system on top of this system that I don't have unlocked yet, where you can create more powerful Archon Shards. Which this is like a super late game system. There's also like these invigorations, which if you get lucky and like the Warframe that you like gets an invigoration, it will give you like a ton of extra power, depending on what it is. So I don't think ability duration would do a whole lot, but plus 1,000 armor on Rhino would make him like tanky AF. And I don't think melee, well I mean melee critical might be okay for Trinity, and reload speed I guess would be alright. Citrine, I haven't played enough Citrine to be able to tell you if that's even good or not. The thing I haven't figured out how to do yet is how to get the Helmet Charger. Like you'll see... this character doesn't have it, but it was on one of my other characters. I think it was on Dante had it. You can kind of see this little thing on his neck. You can get a Helmet Charger is... I'm not even sure how you do that. Let me look it up. Let's see if I can do it with my phone. Because then I can tell you guys. Okay, so I want to see how to get... I don't want a video. So you need a Kubrow egg in a frame with the hair sticking out of it. So you have to have this thing on there for a certain amount of time. Is it there? I can't tell. It is. So it says you have to go to an incubator, go to Kubrow. I got the egg. I want to see how to do this because I'll do it right now. I don't know, I think it says get an egg, get a power core, begin incubation. Imprint empty, imprint empty. Choose 2 imprints to begin an incubation to combine them. I don't want to do that. I want to corrupt it. So it takes 23 hours. I'll rush it just for the purposes of demonstration. Alright, let's see what we got. So we got a helmet charger. Should have. What do we want to name them? I don't really care, I can change it later. Okay, so is it possible to equip it now? Roam the orbiter. Loki has not been matured. Mature for combat. Roam the orbiter. I'm gonna say no. I just wanted to roam the orbiter. Oh, well then why wouldn't you mature it then? Mature for combat. There it is. That is a crazy looking thing. appearance. Pattern. That is crazy looking. What is this other? 10,000 credits? Sure, why not? The heck is that looking thing? Let's go with... I kind of like this other pattern better. It was the Tang Prime. Kind of like that one. Base color. I don't want to do red. I would rather do a darker color. What's the natural color? Steel? I like that. That works for me. Let's see. What can we make it? That's kind of cool. I like that. What about tertiary? I don't think that made a difference. The emissive, make it green. No, I don't like that either. Energy. I'm not gonna mess with the energy. What about attachments? What can we put on it? We can give it a party hat. Or we can give it a collar. I can't tell what that does. That doesn't really look like anything at all. Give him a funny hat, though. Oh, maybe that's the stock one? No armor selected. Oh, you can put armor on a helmet? That's the one I got on my other one. What do we got in here? Well, that's crazy looking. Moon Dance. I don't have that one. We're not going to get that one. Ifrit. Umbra Kubrau. There's some crazy looking ones in here. Brunja Kubrau armor. You can only get that in a bundle. That one looks like it's just wearing a coat. I know I'm kind of screwing around with this a little bit, but... So how do I choose the armor that it's using? Is it under attachments? Yeah, it is. I don't know if I like that either. No armor. We don't need it. So what does the helmet have as latent abilities? Trample. It rushes an enemy, dealing 160 damage to all in its path. It gains 10% melee damage, max health armor for every enemy hit. What is that? Maggots explode on death, dealing 4% of an enemy's current health as corrosive damage to any enemies within 8 meters. Grows to 2 cysts over 6 seconds, erupt every 25 seconds to spawn. Well, that's weird. Toxic injection. So it gets toxic just by baseline. That does a decent amount of damage. 2,000 damage? That's not bad. But anyway, that's how you get a helmet with charger. I don't... Yeah, and we don't have that cyst on our neck anymore. It's not cutesy or anything like that, but I like it that way. We'll set it back to... what does heat look like? The heck is that? What does it actually look like? What's this, another one? So this is a... it's a Sunika Ukubrow. So there's, yeah, it's kind of like, there's like a little bit of a random chance to some of this stuff. Like when you're breeding these, like you have a chance to get one over another. I have the egg. I have the power core. Only one power core though. I don't want to burn it. Alright, what else could I show you guys? I'm sorry, I bumped my mic a little bit. I do have to go to bed here in a minute, so like I said, this is gonna be a little bit shorter of a stream. Okay. I went over Railjack. I can show you Railjack. So we went over Helmuth, we went over the operator. I never really found much use to this room. This is like supposed to be like your private quarters. There's this Soma cord thing, is like a little jukebox type thing. This room to me just, I'm sure there's a lot more you can do with it. And you can customize Lotus to look however you want. You can get different appearances. I don't mess with it. We could go to Railjack, though. I could show you Railjack.
Meditation. War is a lifetime scholarship. The enemy, no finer teacher.
Bless the day that's given.
Okay, so how can I do this? Let's go to navigation. So besides, I don't think they made Railjack necessary for Steel Path, but a lot of these I've done most of them just over time. Let's go to a free flight. It's basically like your battleship. So have like an AI-based crew right now that I hired, but you can pilot the ship, obviously. So like right now we're just kind of flying around. Is there really anything that you can do here? Not really. You just fly around. But let's see. So you have the forward guns. You have your artillery. You've got 2 turrets. So there's a turret here for ventral and a dorsal turret. You can jump out the bottom there.
What?
There's this forge, this is how you get all like your materials. Like you get additional dome charges or hull restore. Or this Revelite is what you use to repair your ship.
Torture someone long enough, they'll confess to anything. That's my
Okay, where is the launcher? Let's see, I think it's up here. So the slingshot will load you into a cannon and it will fire you out of here, like at super high velocity. The only reason I don't want to do it is because then I gotta find my way back here. Is there anything else on here? What is this? That's just another exit. There's another exit on the other side. So you can do this activity with up to 4 people as well. I think most of the stuff in the game you can do with up to 4 people, besides like a select number of missions. Okay, we're gonna go to the dry dock because I'm gonna show you guys how you would do stuff to the railjack. Because it's good to know, because they don't really tell you this anywhere in the game. Alright, so we're pulling into dry dock now. And I'm not sure if you have to be part of a dojo in order to do this or not.
Ateno has exited the railjack.
Yeah, this is part of a dojo. So there's a reason why you'd want to join a dojo. Because there's a lot of stuff that's unlocked by being in a dojo. I want to find the terminals that are for the railjack specifically. So if I go over here, there's a research one and there's a, what is that? Configuration. So you'll find equipment while you're out doing railjack missions, and there's like a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3. Like initially you'll just start out with a regular reactor and you can kind of work your way up from there. We're on a Sigma reactor Mark III. Is there like an advantage to one over the other? It kind of depends. Like some of these will affect the amount of hull plating that you have. These are both the same, so you can't really tell a difference. The engines kind of determine your speed. I think I went through here and I kind of culled out everything that wasn't useful to me. Vidar engines Mark 1, best in class for top speed at the expense of boost performance. So these will all have advantages and disadvantages, and really what determines if it's good or bad with these is some of them are hit scan and some of them are you have to lead the targets like by quite a bit, especially when you're in space and it's a long distance. So I think I use Zeddy on most of these. I'd have to look at it. Some of the stuff I found recently, because I don't remember having. So what these little icons mean is it means that you can repair it. So like if I wanted to use resources to repair any of these, I would have them. But so you can kind of see some of the stuff doesn't really have a very long range. Or the fire rate is really low. And like the Railjack has mod capacity just like everything else. So it's pretty similar to a Warframe. You could do auto install, you can do polarization on it just like you could with anything else. You can kind of see I've got polarization on some of this. There's probably some other stuff I could equip if I went through the... And there's a integrated, there's a battle. So you have like these kind of determine your abilities. Which I don't know, can those be polarized? Requires max rank plexus. So I can't do anything with that. Requires a max rank plexus. What the heck is that? So if I go to here, I think it would be this. So I'm like 7 across the board on everything. It goes up to 10. These are also used for mastery rank. So eventually I'll have to crank all these up. You get certain benefits to having different ranks, and it kind of tells you in here what you would get. Or you can like call members of your Railjack crew to help you out, or you get stronger crew members are available from Ticker and Fortuna. What else can you get? There's extra perks for arc wings. You can get extra necromech defense. Or extra necromech gun damage. What are these other ones? Necromech movement speed. And the only thing I don't know is I don't know if these are like persistent across all areas of the game or if they're specific to Railjack missions. That I'm not sure. So tactical, getting this deploy necromechs in all Railjack missions, that helps out a lot. Tactical mod cooldown, warp from ship to crew member. This is our crew. So you can like give them weapons or upgrade their weapons, or you can... Can I give these guys a Reconifex? Let's see. Equip. Can I give them all the same weapon? Or does it not allow me to do that? Well, if it lets me do it, I'll just do recon effects on all of them. Why not? Yeah, let me do it. What does this do? Train. You're only allowed so many points. So, I mean, you can... Yeah, I don't have any competency points for them. So I can't do anything with that. Eventually, we'll be able to get better crew and we won't have that problem. I'm kind of hoping they add more Railjack skins eventually, but this is kind of like one of the aspects of the game that it doesn't get a lot of attention from a development standpoint because it just not a lot of people do it. So like, why would you put development resources into something that nobody does? And like in here, you can research different stuff. What the heck is this? Vort. Research complete, research complete. Two owned. Pulsar Mark III. Sigma Mark III. Sigma Shield Array Mark III. I already have that. Vort Mark III. I think some of the stuff you can find out in the field is better. Ice Wave Generator. Yeah. I can't get too much into it because I have a very limited amount of time here. But one of the things that the dojo is like really, really good for, and I'll show you the dojo. So once you're in a dojo, if you look at these different parts of the dojo, so it's like the energy lab. There's a ton of weapons that you can get from in here. The main thing that you need for it is mastery rank. And these field drons are like required for everything that's in this entire... So any weapon from the energy lab requires these field drons. Any weapon from like the chem lab require these detonite injectors. This Ignis Wraith is like really, really good in the early game. Or like once you have the Master Rank 9, I highly recommend that weapon. But for where I'm at with Master Rank, I gotta pretty much get everything. Let's see what else we got. So Chem, Bio. So Bio is like the same thing. It just uses mutagen mass instead. Let's go to the Tenno lab. So you can get Warframes in here. So you can get Banshee from the Dojo Lab. You can get Niza. You can get Wukong. You can get Vault. You can get Zephyr. All from the Tenno Lab on the Dojo. And there's also like a series of weapons that you can get from this as well. What's another one? So we got the Orican Lab. Those just have the keys for the vaults. Which I'm not super experienced with that, so I don't even know how to talk about that. The Vent Kids, I don't even bother with this, really. Oh, that's how you get Yorelli? Chassis, Neuroptics, Yorelli Systems. But how do you get the blueprint for Yorelli? That's interesting. You can also get, like, think Degath you can also get through the dojo. I don't think I've built Degath. I'll have to look up if there's any of these I don't have, and I'll have to do those as well. Let's see, I don't want to go to navigation. I want to go to... Well, we can just go to one of these labs, and I'll show you kind of one of the other things that you can do. So in every dojo, there's these trade terminals. Like, my clan doesn't have a trade tax, but some of them might. But if you invite somebody to your dojo to do a trade, their name will show up in here. Obviously, you're limited on how many trades you can do a day. So, like, you can only do, like, 20 trades per day. But everything in the game, including platinum, is tradable. So, but it does have a cost. So there's not just a tax, there's also a fee in credits based on what it is. So like if you can trade somebody else platinum, but there's also a credit cost associated with that, which you just get credits in game, so that's not like a huge deal. So the two sites that, and I'll show the sites at some point, but there's overframe.gg, and I think that's the one I use for builds, and there's Warframe Market. That's where you can go and see like what is for sale with platinum and what the prices are. Because like normally to get primes, you could go back here, and every single one of these relics has like a % chance to drop some sort of prime. And if you're a group of 4 people, everybody can pop a relic, and whatever reward gets dropped by any of the 4 people that are in that group, you can pick any reward. It doesn't matter. So like if you're doing this stuff as a group of 4, it's a lot more beneficial to do it that way. And you can upgrade these. I think they give you like these void traces. The void traces like increase your chances of getting like the rare item versus the common item. But how you would crack relics is you would go into navigation up here at the top under void fissures is what you would do. And you can kind of see where it says like Omnia, Requiem, Axie, Neo, mesolith, those correspond to a type of relic. So if you see like axi, lith, meso, neo, like you would match them up with what you wanted to farm. So if you're trying to do, you'd have to find a mission type that match those. And these don't go away or expire, so some of these become very valuable later on because some of these Warframe primes are like vaulted where you can't easily get them. But the game's been out so long now, you can trade people platinum straight up for like the entire set already put together of like pretty much any prime in the game. Like most of them are under 300 plat for the whole set, but a lot of them are cheaper than that even. Or you can go through the relic system and do it that way. This takes more time. But any extra ones that you have, you can smash them into ducats, and then there's the Barretier that comes every 2 weeks, and he's got his own shop, but I can't really show you that right now because it's off cycle. What else? What else is worth showing on here? They haven't dropped the Lavos yet, so I can't show you that. Oh, there's this. So over here, there's this Nightwave thing. This is basically the game's battle pass. This is like a early and late stream. I gotta go to bed here in a second. So this is like the game's free battle pass system. So every time you complete one of these tiers, it'll give you some credits. Like I completed the first tier, so I got 150 credits. Each of these tasks will reset. Some of them are weekly, some of them are daily. So like this is daily. Daily. These are weeklies. So some of these are based on rep, some of them are based on doing like nightmare missions, killing Eximus units, killing a certain number of enemies. But down here you can see this credit offerings. So you go into that menu, and there's stuff you can get in this store. So some of it is skins. I don't recommend ever spending on skins, but what is very useful in here is the aura mods. And trying to see what's in here. If it's a blueprint for something that you can't get anywhere else, that's always good to get. But this stuff just reset too. I don't know if I have any of that. It's same, yeah. Yeah, so I usually work overnight. So during the week, what I was trying to determine was, do I go to bed super early and then do I stream in the early afternoon? Or do I, when I get out of work, do I just stream right after? And for me, I was like, all right, I'll go to sleep right away when I get back, and I'll stream in the early afternoon. Well, the problem is, in order to do that, I gotta cut my sleep down to like 6 hours or less. It's a lot harder to do that. Honestly, I have no idea how I did it when I started like a while back. We're just gonna switch back over here so I can chat for a second. You know, I should fix that too. So if I go here to, because like there's just ever so slightly. Oh, I guess it's just a border. It's fine. I turn the music back on. But yeah, this is like a really, really short stream. So I kind of, the way I make my content, like especially when it's like this short, is I'm basically trying to make it episodically in a way that it's basically, I want to put something on while I'm eating kind of content. So a lot of times it's not particularly vulgar or anything like that. And so the other thing I'll say is I realize that I could probably draw more eyeballs by either being more controversial or anything, things like that. But I kind of look at it as I'm trying to, I think a lot of people target like a demographic of like 18 to 25. I don't necessarily look at it that way. I'm also trying to target like gamer dads and like people that might be watching the stream that also have other people in the room. So I kind of try to target more like 18 to 35 or more. Like I try to keep my streams where they can be consumed by pretty much everybody. So I kind of will keep it not necessarily censored or anything like that, but I kind of look at it as the reason I kind of do what I do the way I do it is when you kind of look at all media in general, a lot of it has just become like really over sexualized in like across the board. And I wanted to kind of carve out some areas where that wasn't the case. I get that that's not appealing to everybody. That's fine. But it's just sometimes that you don't want that in everything. It just becomes like this thing that permeates everything. But I'm not saying it'll always be that way. This is kind of what I'm doing right now. Surprisingly, like something I would like to get into is doing more like vocal content. Like maybe eventually I'll do like some karaoke or something like that. But I think it's going to be more of a follower goal than anything else. Because I think currently we're at 983 on Twitch. I'm trying to think of what we'll do when we hit 1K. It'll probably be a little while before we get there. But I really need to get to bed. I gotta be up in 6 hours, I think. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in for the stream. I definitely appreciate the raids and support as always. So coming soon will be our... I'll probably do it a little bit more production quality. I'll do like a... Not really a Warframe 101 because I don't really have the what I would say like the spreadsheet level of knowledge on that. We'll just kind of do like back of the napkin math on some of the stuff. There are some channels that like get into it a lot more in detail than what I can. But what I want to kind of create is a... You just start playing Warframe, what do you do? Like, where do you go? Like, how do you get all the stuff for free if you want to get it for free? How do you do the rep grinds? How do you do these different things? And like, I want to create more of like a general overview, not necessarily like a super in-depth guide on some of the stuff, because there's better guides out there. And some of the stuff I just don't get into very much, like Eidolon hunts I don't really do. I think I've done like a total of 5 and I've been carried through them pretty much. But I would like to do more of that stuff. It's just I need to figure out how to do it. But we'll kind of see. The tips I would say to people is don't get married to any particular Warframe, because certain Warframes are good for certain things. Certain Warframes are good for others. I mean, you'll kind of see some of the websites will break it down. Like some of these are considered like CC frames, like they excel at doing crowd control, or they're better at support, or doing that sort of thing. And I would say just be adventurous with what you try. A lot of people will say like, hey, this weapon is the best. That's not necessarily the case, because you don't necessarily need to min-max everything to that extent. Enemies will have like a maximum amount of health that you'll encounter. It doesn't matter if your weapon does 100,000 damage or the enemy only has 50k HP. So you can kind of build stuff out to be really good. Even like there are some weapons you'll prefer over others. But I would just say be open to trying everything, because you'll eventually have to do it anyway if you're trying to do the mastery rank grind. But with that, I think I'm going to head to sleep. So I'm going to try to do another early morning stream tomorrow, probably a little bit earlier than what I did today. The only caveat to that is you probably can't hear it right now, but I'm starting to get a little bit more congested than what I was yesterday. If I do end up getting sick to a degree that I can't put out content, I'll put something on Twitter. As I feel bad because I've been getting sick so much. I think people think I'm grifting it, like I'm just making it up. And like I wish so much. Because I think I've been sick every 5 days or so since the 27th of December. So it's kind of been like this. I get over one illness, pick up the next illness, take about 3 or 5 days to incubate to the point where it becomes a problem. And then I get to figure out I'm on this like gotcha program with illnesses, I guess. It's kind of weird. So like every 5 days I get to figure out what illness I have that week. And I guess it's kind of crazy because I don't really have that issue before, but I think that just the travel and the seasonal changes this year have kind of been extreme. But I'll probably get back into like taking some of my immunity stuff, because I've been getting so tired of being sick. Because I used to take like an immunity supplement, and I need to start doing that again. So we might go back on our vitamin kick a little bit. But I do appreciate you guys stopping out for the stream as always. Apologies for the shorter duration, but I kind of went to this mindset of it's better to get some sort of content out there than nothing at all. So that's kind of the philosophy we'll go with. Sometimes it might mean there's like an hour and a half stream or hour and 45 minutes. I'll just try to compress everything a little bit more to make it more digestible. Because I think my goal from the time I start a week to the time I end a week is always to create more content than it's possible to consume. And I would say like on average, most people don't have enough time to go through like an 8 or 9 hour VOD on average. So I'm trying to break it into more digestible chunks as we go along. The one thing I will look at here in the somewhat near future, so my model was made with a Vroid base that was from Vroid version 1.1.7. And they're on version 2.1.0 right now. And then I rigged it with HanaTool version 3. And that's on version 5 currently. So I haven't done any updates in a very long time. So like 10 or 15 versions of Vroid Studio ago, plus like Unity, Blender, etc. Eventually, I will try to update my model a little bit to try to boost the tracking, which surprisingly, my model, if you guys didn't know, my model is like a full 3D model, and it does have like hand tracking and all of that. And I originally had tried that in the very beginning. I had full like leap motion tracking for my hands. It just was so buggy, and I couldn't think of when I would use it or why it would be useful. Because it was kind of one of those, like, it was kind of like a weird thing. I had like a 3D printed, it was like, almost looked like a necklace, but then it had like a little spot for leap motion tracker that you would wear around your neck. And you would plug that into your PC. And then when you had your arms out in front of you, it would track your hands. But the problem was, like, if you put your hands on the keyboard, it would lose tracking. Or if you moved around out of the range of view that it could see, it wouldn't track that well. So I was like, well, this is not really super useful. It doesn't really add a whole lot to the stream. So I just kind of canned that. But I did end up getting the Leap Motion Tracker version 2. And then I tried to do a Xbox Connect, but I don't think the software exists for that yet to be able to do tracking with the Xbox Connect. It does with some stuff, but not for the application that I need. So like, I have the stuff to hook it to PC, but it just doesn't do that particular thing yet. So currently, if you haven't checked it out yet, if you're over on Twitch, there is a program I usually run for loyalty, which is my giveaway program. I'll probably run that through Friday. I still will try to expand that out to YouTube somehow in the future. I don't know how I would do that exactly. Or it might just be a Twitch exclusive thing for right now. But probably, I'm thinking either Friday or Saturday we'll close that out for Space Marine 2. I kind of want to get back into playing Space Marine 2 because there is a lot of content that's been added to it since I played it. Especially multiplayer content. But some of that is just easier to do with a squad. The other game I have wanted to get back into playing, which I have not played since the whole debacle with PSN, is Helldivers 2. I haven't played Helldivers 2 in probably 6 or 8 months or something like that. It was when it initially came out, probably for like 3 months after that, and never played it after that. Which is unfortunate. I like the game, and I like the developer. It was just having Sony attached to it kind of sucked. But they've kind of walked that back since. And that was kind of, in all honesty, that was why we didn't play God of War Ragnarok for PC yet. Is because of the PSN requirement being on it. But I think that recently changed as well. They went from the... And I'm quoting somebody else on this, so... If it sounds familiar, that's why. Because they went from the stick approach to the carrot approach. So there's perks to signing up for a PSN account for it, but now it's not mandatory. So I may do those games as well. I'll try not to do like just exclusively one game. It's just right now I've realized that I'm so far behind with Warframe that I'm trying to get caught up. The other game that I might jump into briefly is there is going to be a drop program going on for Once Human that starts on Friday, I think. So I will try to do that for a few hours. But it will probably be in the very early morning hours. But I haven't played... I've logged into Once Human, but I have not like actively played on stream in a little while. I've been trying to do my Stellar Stairway and keeping that maxed out, but I have not really gotten back into playing in a major way. My main issue is that the thing I really like about survival crafting games is like the exploration and the crafting, and the extreme weather in Wave Winter kind of killed the exploration, which meant I didn't get as much resources, which meant that I couldn't do as much crafting. So it kind of became like this cycle of being huddled in my base over a heater most of the time, and I just did not enjoy that. So I think when we switch to the next season, I'll probably stream it more, because I do want to do the lunar event in Manabus. I think will be a lot more fun. Granted, I don't know why they haven't expanded the hive size in Once Human, because I think that would be better. It will probably do like a custom server when those become available. I think that's going to be like either next month or the month after. We'll kind of see what the cost of that is. I'm expecting the capacity of those servers to be like maybe 40 players or less, but I don't have a way to verify that one way or the other. But just kind of keep an eye out for what we've got coming next. So the reason you'll hear me repeat myself over and over is I tend to produce things with this mindset to not have to have people go back 4 or 5 VODs to figure out what is on the horizon. So I'll kind of touch on things multiple times because I want to try to keep it accessible and digestible for people that are just tuning in for that stream. So if you hear me repeat myself, that's why. It's intentional. But with that, I think I'm going to call it a day. Or should I just rant for 3 minutes so we hit 2 hours? I don't know. It's tempting. What can I talk about for 3 minutes? The other thing that I would like to do at some point is to do like a just chatting stream, like more of a general discussion, maybe of just like gaming and the channel in general. Or maybe I would do... I can't think of if I showed you guys how to build a Vroid model and how to do the stuff in Unity. I don't know what category I would do that under. Like if I wanted to show the work in Unity, if I wanted to show the work in Vroid, if I wanted to show the stuff in Blender. I don't really want to do it under art. I don't really want to do it under programming because it's not that. So it might be that. I don't know if I would do it live or not because it might be something I don't really want to show, but because I can't even tell you how many 3D models I've built and just canned them and not even, because sometimes I'll start building a model for friends. I'll be like, hey, you might want one for what's the one we port into a lot? The heck is that? I forget the name of it now, damn it. It's VR chat, that's what it is. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. So the purpose of having like a 3D model instead of a 2D model is I wanted to have the ability to do like meet and greets in VR chat. That was kind of like the whole purpose of that. So with having a model that is compatible with VR chat, what it gives me the ability is if I want to do like a community meetup in the future, I can use that as a platform to do that. And I think I haven't really played around with Micoverse yet, but that's another thing that is out there that I might also be able to use as a platform in order to do like more meetups in the future and that sort of thing. If there's ever a demand for it, there might not ever be a demand for it. So we'll see. That was kind of the thing that was going to determine if I was going to go to TwitchCon or not, like, I don't think I'm at a point where anybody would want to see me at TwitchCon. So it's very hard for me to justify like spending $2,000 or $3,000 to go to TwitchCon when like I don't think anybody would care if I win or not. So it's like I might as well put that into equipment. Or that was the other disappointing thing, was the 50 series coming out and just having it be an absolute cluster. Because I was like, okay, I want to get a new graphics card because my desktop PC just has like a 2070 Super in it. And seeing it basically be a paper launch and there being no availability of any of that, and like the performance uplift being like so disappointing with the 50 series, I was like, this kind of sucks. Because I was looking at like 5090s and I was looking at 5080s and like seeing what's going on with the prices of it. And I was like, oh, for performance, the 5090 looks good. But for price, the 5080 probably makes more sense. And for thermals, the 5080 probably makes more sense. But what I don't like about the 5080 is how in the hell are they releasing like a top tier card in 2025 with 16 gigs of VRAM on it? I have a 3080 Ti laptop that's like almost 4 years old now between the card generations, or like at least 3 years old, and it's got 16 gigs of VRAM. So I was like, that makes no sense for me to upgrade. Because I was looking at, they were looking, because like right now I'm more constrained by the power that I can draw, because the maximum amount of power that you can put into a laptop, like any sort of graphics solution, is going to be like 150 watts. So I wanted to go to like another desktop PC. So I have a mini ITX case, because I picked up a course. Well, it's an NR200. I can't remember the brand of the case, but it's a fairly popular ITX case because I could get a carry bag for it. Oh, did we just hit a 3-minute ad? Frickin' A. Well, with that, I don't think there's any way to make that go away. The other thing I've been waiting for is the AMD, what is it? The 9950X3D. Because I do want to try to upgrade my CPU as well. So this computer has a 12700H, because it's a laptop. So I think it's like 6 performance cores and 14 efficiency cores. Which it works for streaming just fine, without an issue. The computer that I started with was it was another laptop. It was a 6700 HQ and a 1070 mobile, which was like a very low end PC. So I think the one thing I played like on the initial stream I did back in 2022. So surprising, I started in Year of the Tiger. It was February 1st, I think. February 1st or 2nd of 2022 was when I started VTubing. So if you haven't been around, I've talked about it before, but I've been in streaming for, I don't know, it was probably like 2013 or something like that. It's been a while. It was with the end of Warlords of Draenor, and it was WildStar when that came out. So they had the WildStar MMO, and I streamed that for a while. And I also streamed World of Warcraft for a little while until I quit playing World of Warcraft. Which, I don't know, that was kind of the most disappointing thing, was just seeing like World of Warcraft turn into something that I didn't want to play anymore. And I think that's like the struggle with like MMOs, like trying to find like a MMO or two MMOs that you can kind of commit time to. And I think that was kind of what I was hoping that Once Human would be. And it's kind of what I'm getting more back into Warframe for. But I don't know if I would call Warframe a MMO per se. I think it is, but it's not really. Like, so much of the game is instanced, and the squad sizes are so small, and there's no event in the game that you can do with more than 4 people. It's just hard to call that like an MMO. At least to me. Like, if it was... Because what I would say with like Once Human is, even though it is like a survival crafting game and the squad size is a max of 4, there's still events in the game that can have like upwards of 20 to 40 people. I'm kind of hoping they add like a dungeon that has like an additional capacity for people, like maybe 8 people. But we'll see. I think the stuff for Once Human that I'm more excited for is the stuff that's probably going to be coming in the fall, like their Pokemon type game that, or mode that they'll have, and we'll get a respin of the lunar wheel, and it'll have some sort of change to it. And I definitely need to do more of the Belly of the Beast event in Warframe, so I'll probably try to do more of that this weekend at some point. But we do have a lot of other stuff coming out here soon too. So we got Monster Hunter Wilds. That'll be something I play for sure. And honestly, the thing I'm more excited for is that new Yakuza game. So the new Yakuza game that's coming out at the end of the month. I always forget the name of it. It's Yakuza Pirate something. I'll tell you in a second. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Which I gotta pre-buy that. Comes out in 8 days, 11 hours, and 22 minutes. I'm really hyped for that one. Which I'll play Monster Hunter, but to be honest with you, like I played so much Monster Hunter and I just was not that enthused with it. Although I've avoided like every single, I think I watched one trailer. I didn't play any of the betas at all for Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm hoping I'm pleasantly surprised. We'll see. I definitely will buy it. I know that for sure. But with that, I will call it a day finally. But I do appreciate you guys stopping out for the stream as always. I don't think I'm going to raid out because I just don't feel like trying to... Well, I take that back. I will try to raid out. I just got to find somewhere to go. Let's see. All right, we'll raid out somebody new. I have no idea where I'm sending you guys. A friend of a friend. They say they're gonna play Bloodborne, so we'll go with that. All right, with that, we will call it a day. I do appreciate you guys stopping out for the stream, and I know I said it over and over again, but it's because I mean it. And I will see you next time.